So today we're going to be working on changing the oil on a 2002 Honda CR250R dirt bike. You have to change your oil every 25 hours or so, they said, to keep your motor from unseizing and breaking stuff and not having a working bike. Okay, so working on changing the oil, these are the tools you will need. You'll need some, well, what I like to run is MTL fluid, 75 weight through my bike, just because that's what's good for it. You need an oil funnel, put your oil back in once you're done draining her. You got your bolt, or your socket to take the bolt out from under the bike so you can drain all your fluids. This is your full glass ratchet, so you can tell how much oil you need, or if you have too much, check that. A screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, because you always need a flathead screwdriver. If not, it's a good thing to have. Your oil pan, obviously, because unless you want oil to go all over the floor and all over you, it's a good idea. And your big box of rags, because she's going to get a little messy. Right.
Okay, so we had to locate your bolt to drain your oil. You have to use your socket wrench to take her out. So we'll do that, demonstrate right now. You always want to make sure your bolt's clean, so you don't get a bunch of dirt in your oil. Not that you're going to reuse it, but you just don't want a lot of dirt. And hopefully there's oil. Now you want to try not to get very messy, and your hands will probably get messy. So use your rags, your big box of rags, and we'll just wait for her to drain out, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, all the oil is drained, or pretty much. There might be a couple drips. But you got to clean your bolt before you put it back in, so you're not running a dirty bolt in your oil, good oil. Otherwise it defeats the purpose of you changing it. And you're just going to ruin your cylinders. So we got to put it back in before you put the new oil in, or it's just going to drip out. And you just waste $10 on oil and your time, because you're going to have to do it again. You got to tighten it up with your socket.
Don't tighten it too tight.
Oh, yeah, I think that's tight enough. Now we'll check. We'll have to put oil in, and then we'll check her.
Alright, now you got to put your oil back in. You want to move your kickstand out of the way, or kickstart. You got to clean this off so you're not getting oil or dirt into your fresh oil that you're going to pour. Now take that off. Make sure it's clean. And put your funnel in. Well, preferably a funnel. I use my kickstand, keep her there, so she don't go nowhere. You got to put your good TML fluid, transmission fluid, 75 weight. You got to put about half a quart in, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. You just got to go slow, watch and make sure you don't start leaking out your transmission. Makes a mess and waste money. I don't know. You don't really have to use a funnel, but I prefer it because I tend to make less of a mess when I use my funnel. I use my kickstand to keep it in there, so it's less work on me. And hopefully I don't get my bike all dirty, because oil collects dirt. And since this is a dirt bike, she's going to collect a lot of dirt. Alright, now that you put some in, just enough to maybe fill it a little bit, you want to use your eyeglass full gauge socket to take this here bolt out, which is your full gauge, to make sure you have enough oil. Just take it out. There's a little tiny washer on there. You don't want to lose that in your oil. Otherwise your seal won't seal again, and every time you go and ride it, or even if your bike's just sitting, it'll waste all your oil, so you're gonna have to fill it multiple times. And you see that there's oil dripping out, so that means there's enough oil. You just want to kind of, if you put too much in, like I happen to do right now, you just want to let it drain until it's about quit. You want to clean up your mess that you've made so it doesn't collect any dirt like somebody has not cleaned. And you want to keep your bike straight up and down, just because your motor is straight up and down, so you don't want it to say you don't have enough oil when you actually do. So we'll get back to you when this stops dripping. Now our oil fill has quit its dripping, or slowed anyway, which means your oil is full. If it didn't overfill for you, then you just have to add more with your funnel. But I added a little too much, but that's fine. So you got to put your bolt back in that you cleaned, because you don't want dirt in it. So put that back on, get your ratchet, tighten your bolt back on. You don't want it too tight, otherwise you'll bust your seals, and then you'll have to buy more oil. You want it tight enough that it won't fall out while you're riding, because then you'll lose oil. You want it cleaner so you don't get dirt. And after, I've already cleaned this, but you need to clean it before you put your cap back on. You should probably clean the cap. And then you put your fill cap back on. And then I think, yeah, you're done filling your oil on your bike. Just make sure nothing's leaking, nothing's too dirty. Clean up all your oil. We've made a couple of spills here, but I think we're good. I think she's running good, so that means your oil changing has worked and it's running oil through your transmission so you can go through gears. And thank you all for watching.